So over the years, I've done a lot of camera videos, setups, reviews, everything. Today we're taking a peek at another one, another nice small battery operated camera from Kiwibit. Now this little guy has a magnetic base on it, so you can actually stick it directly to anything metal, I guess. I did open it up. Basically haven't done anything with the camera, just charged it up. That way I don't have to wait in between getting it out of the box and actually setting it up and actually doing it. That way we can do everything right here if we want to. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna actually get it out of the box, set it completely up here before we do any kind of mounting at all. But this is nice because you can use this camera indoors, outdoors. It's all wireless. You don't have to be by a power outlet at all. So let's take a peek at this. This is the Kiwibit Battery Cam 1. Okay, so obviously we have to start this process by getting it out of the box and seeing how everything comes. Like I said, I've already opened the box to charge up the camera, but that was all I did so far. So here is the camera itself. Now the mount itself is a little bit different. You can see there's actually these 3 rubber feet, so you can actually use it as a desktop-based camera where you can just set it on the desk or whichever and point it how you want. It's kind of interesting though because it has this articulating motion to it. You can kind of see it there, where it swivels around. So if you're obviously, no matter where you put this base, you can find a way to mount it, right? And so you can get it all the way around like so. There's just a lot of motion to how the base is actually set up. So this is a little bit different mount than I've seen on it, this type of camera before. It's kind of neat. So that's the camera. And this is the section I haven't looked at all yet. So we do have some mounting screws and piece there. Do have a USB-A to USB-C cable for charging, which obviously I didn't use that cable. Do have a mounting plate, so obviously if you're not mounting something magnetic, you can mount this plate, and then this plate will slide in to the base, so you can mount it to whatever surface. So yeah, there is that. There's also a setup guide. Go step by step through the setup process, which we're going to do here as well. And that is all that comes in the box. So pretty straightforward, at least for the accessory wise. Let's get the camera set up, I guess. Okay, before we actually get the app out to actually set that up on the camera itself, I don't know what this is back here, but there's a little rubber bump, and then of course a speaker, and then on the bottom back here, and you kind of make sure you flip this around to access it. Little rubber seal here. There is a secondary rubber seal, the small guy that you can open, so you can actually have this guy plugged in and it kind of keeps it weather sealed. So if you had like a small USB solar panel or something, you could actually keep this thing charged up while it's out there and have it nice and sealed. Obviously it's on the bottom of the camera too, so you don't have water sitting on top of it. But that's that little door just for a USB-C cable. And then the big door obviously opens everything up, where you can see the USB-C connection. There is a power button. There is and then a micro USB slot as well for, micro SD card slot, geez. And I am going to actually put one in right now. So I have a 512 gigs. So we're gonna see how this guy does with a big card here. And just match it up with the direction and slide that guy in until it clicks. And now we have everything in there. Now, there's the power button right here. So we're gonna go ahead and kick the power on. So I'm gonna push and hold that guy. And there is a little blue light that came on the front. And I'm gonna go ahead and...
Please use the app to format your SD card first.
Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and open up the app so you can see I have it here. If there is a QR code in the setup guide that actually directs you directly to where this app is, that's gonna get really annoying, but that's all right. Hit open. And it looks like there's a user agreement. I'm gonna go ahead and accept. I'm gonna go ahead and create new account, and I'm gonna set this up. I will be right back. Okay, so it did send a verification code to my email. I'm gonna grab that real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, once I did that, it asks for a password to set up, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Give me a moment. Hit continue, and now I have to enter in a username. Give me a moment. Continue, and now we are good to go. So now we're gonna go ahead and hit this add new device, which that guy's already going crazy, so I'm gonna allow Bluetooth. I'm gonna hit allow. and allow it to see my local networks. There we go. You can see the battery cam 1. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now we're going to choose my Wi-Fi to actually connect to once it updates here. So it sees my Wi-Fi. I'm going to put in the password. I'll be right back. Hit next and let it connect.
Connection succeeded.
And it's actually talking to me and telling me that it actually did connect. Registered it. We're just going to call, that's fine. I'll just going to location, front door, that's fine. I'm going to hit next. I can figure, yeah, obviously depending on where you put the camera can depend on what it does. Let's go ahead and hit let's start. And we're going to hit next to test the Wi-Fi signal. This is where you can have premium. Now, like any camera out there, they can give you online alerts, online storage, things like that. Okay, so, and obviously here you can see the annual monthly payment versus the monthly payment, which you can save a little over 50 cents a month. I'm going to hit no thanks for now because I'm going to use the local memory card. And then obviously you can see here, no plan. You get a event alert, but you don't get all the special alerts and vehicle detection and stuff. Continue without subscription for now. Let's see, 1 day rolling cloud storage. That's a voucher for up to 1 day history, motion alerts, and motion recordings. Okay, I'll hit redeem now. Successfully redeemed. Perfect. Now there is a firmware update. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Firmware update and let it do its thing, and I will be back.
You have to format your SD card first.
Oh. Maybe I should do that first. Oh, upgrading firmware. There it goes. All right, I'm going to let it do its thing. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so that took maybe 3-4 minutes. And now you can see there actually is a live view here. Let's see where the formatting the SD card, because that's something I need to do. I'm going to hit the settings icon there in the bottom right corner. And SD card management right there, wrong format. Of course it is, because it's not formatted for this.
You have to format your SD card first.
Okay, so now SD card is formatting, motion detected because it's pointed at me and I'm moving. So obviously it's seeing the 512 gigabyte card just fine. It's obviously formatting the 512 gigabyte card just fine. Now I would anticipate that, but it always is nice to know that the larger format cards work with the camera. Now while that's finishing up, I'm gonna grab the plastic film off the front of this so we can actually get higher quality footage. So that's just that there. And now we are, see, now when this was doing the firmware update, this blue light here was blinking. Now it's solid. So going into this, know this 512 gig card took the last 5 to 10% took as long as the first 90% to 95%. I mean, the last went from 99 to 100. That took literally like 30 to 60 seconds. It was kind of crazy. But either way, it's done. It's now formatted. You can see we have 477.3 gigabytes of available storage on there. Let's look at the settings here real quick. So we have motion detection. Right now, if we click on that as well, we can choose the sensitivity, which is standard with most cameras. Record setting, cooldown time 1 minute. Cloud storage is 10 seconds. SD card only when motion detected, which basically is the only option. Do we have an SD card cooldown? We do not right now. And card recording durations, we can change up to, looks like, 3 minutes. I mean, obviously a large format card like that, we can get a lot of clips. 10 seconds is a little light. Typically, I'm going to up that to 20 seconds, and then I'm going to head back. Sleep mode. So when camera sleeps, it'll stop recording, sound alarms, and sending notifications. Okay, schedule sleep. So you can say, you know, during the, like for instance, if you're going to put this camera inside and you don't want it recording while you're at home working or something, you can set that schedule for it to go to sleep so it's not doing anything. So that is nice to see. Let's look at the sleep schedule. You can just add in a schedule. And yeah, from this time to this time on these specific days, I want you to go to sleep. And so you can do that. I'm going to turn that off right now, but that's something that we can always turn on. So back up. Notification settings. Obviously, I've been getting notified like crazy because it's seeing motion. I'm going to leave it on for now, but we can change all of this stuff. It looks like obviously they do have enhancement. That's under the subscription plans, so we're not going to do that. Alarm settings. Audible alarm, flashlight alarm. Now, it does have a light right there in the middle, so that's probably going to be part of that flashlight alarm. But you can have an alarm turned on when the motion is triggered. That's what that audible alarm is. And it'll also flash it when the flashlight alarm is also turned on. Let's look at video settings. The recording resolution, nope, we want to go as high quality as we can get. So 2K resolution, that's the highest we're going to get. We can rotate the image. So if, depending on how you mount it, you may need to rotate that image. So just know that that's right there. Anti-flicker. That's obviously depending on what you're recording and the refresh rate of the lighting and where you are. I'm going to keep it at 60 Hertz. Auto night vision, I'm going to turn that on. You can either have color mode or black and white mode. Looks like black and white is using infrared light. Color mode is going to use the white light that's on the front. Now, I prefer color mode, but in all reality, black and white works better at night because I don't have a floodlight wherever it's going to go. So I stick with black and white mode typically myself. And light sensitivity level, you can change that. Indicator light. So that's that little blue light on the front. We can click that and save it, and then it can basically turn off that indicator light. SD card video, this is where you're obviously going to see, look at all the videos that have already been captured because so there's the ones that have been captured on the SD card. Obviously it's sensing motion, so that makes sense, right? Cloud service, you can upgrade to that here. Power settings, power source, you can either solar panel plug-in or battery only. Right now we're in battery only because we're not plugged into anything, so I'm going to select that. Auto on after charging, nah, I'm not going to do that. Leave it like it is. Audio settings, alarm volume, voice volume. So if you talk through it, and then if you want audio recording or not, you can change that here in the audio settings. So otherwise there's a share, and then there's an actual installation guide and how to actually install it, which, hey, that's all there. It's all in the app. So once you set the setting up, and you can actually go through that as well. You can also remove the camera down there at the bottom if you are no longer using this camera. Otherwise, if you actually just select the camera at the top, look at that, brings into all the information where we can change the camera location or name. It's called Smart Camera. It's at the front door, which is not where I'm going to install it. And then all the information, firmware, this is where you can do that. Auto update is turned on right now. If we're going to firmware update, okay, that just says firmware up to date, what Wi-Fi we're connected to, and then of course the time zone of your location. You want to make sure that that's correct as well. Otherwise, we are fully set up with the Kiwibit camera. So this is ready to install essentially. Okay, so it is weathering pretty good outside right now. And I was considering whether or not I really wanted to go outside to install the installation. In all reality, it's a camera. It installs the weather of the camera. But that said, I did want to at least show the couple of different ways to mount it, right? So I was trying to find a plate of steel that I would have here. I have an old saw blade that's pretty dull, but this will at least show the magnetic capability of the camera, right? So the thing is that if you have some kind of metal surface that you can mount this to, you can just stick it to it and you're good to go. Now, how many people are going to have flat steel or a ferrous metal surface on the outside of their house that's quick and easy to access? Typically eaves are aluminum. Siding, you can find steel siding, but depending on where you are is how textured that is. So the magnetic option is nice to have. It is pretty neat, right? In all reality, if you were mounting it on the side of the house, you may actually just stick it out like this and then go into the settings and rotate the feed 90 degrees. Or, you know, like we were saying, there's a lot of different ways you can kind of point this, right? And so you could, you know, depending on how you're mounting it, this might work for you. It's all dependent on how you're doing it. But that's the nice thing about this foot that it has, is that there's a lot of different mounting options, and the magnets are actually pretty strong. So it's not something that's just gonna fall off. Now, if you had a really good wind, there's always potential. But that said, I'm gonna assume that most people are gonna probably use this mounting plate. So in that regard, I brought this nice 2x4 guy in here. And I have my screwdriver, and I'm just going to go ahead and mount this plate directly to the board real quick. You don't want to do too crazy because it is plastic. You don't want to crack it. But now I have a mounting plate screwed to, it could be screwed to anything on the outside of your house. There is also little anchors, so if you're going into concrete or drywall or whatever, they are there, and they do give you 3 of them, so you do have an extra or a spare, because this only has 2 mounting holes. Then the camera, like I said before, goes on here, pull down, clips into place, and now you're doing exactly like I showed with the steel, right? Exact same thing, it's just now clipped on, so it's not going to just easily fall off, and you can then set this however you need to set it. So there is, you know, several different options of what you'll have to actually set this guy up. Let's see how easy or hard this is to get off. not too bad at all. You just kind of, you know, it does clip into place. So you just push up on the 3 different mounting places and it just pops right off. So mounting wise, pretty simple. So, you know, in all reality, for what this little guy is, it's not a bad little option. So all in all, the battery cam 1 from Kiwibit, nice little option, solid little product, great for, you know, just local storage. You can obviously have their cloud protection storage as well as some advanced features that they offer through their subscription service. Now, this camera or battery cam 1 also comes in a solar kit that actually has a solar panel. So depending on where you're placing it and how often you want to be able to, you know, have to go back and actually grab the camera and bring it inside and charge it up, you may want to look at the solar panel version. Same camera, just comes with the solar panel to actually get that guy set up and plugged in and keeping the battery charged on this guy. And I actually have a couple of solar cameras on my home as well already, and they work great. So it's nice to see that they have this as an option. It makes it easy to add down the road. And you don't even have to use their solar panel in all reality. There's plenty of third-party solar panels, but this retails at $49, but you'll find it for about $29 on Amazon. I'll put links in the top of the description. They also have the same camera with the solar panel kit, and it's only like $37, I think, right now on sale. I'll put that link in the description. Prices change, so don't stick to what the numbers I tell you. Check out the links and you'll actually see for yourself exactly what this camera is going for. So Kiwibit, solid little camera, nice little package, easy to use mounting setup. I would say my least favorite thing about this, about the mount specifically, is probably that once you have it mounted, it can move a little bit, right? So if the camera's mounted and you have a lot of wind, it's probably going to be shaky footage depending on what you're capturing because it can move, right? So that is one thing to say. I'm as open and honest as I can about it, but that is the only difficulty or downside to having this type of friction-based mount versus having something that's a little more solid once you actually get it mounted. But that's neither here nor there because it's actually pretty nice in actually how many different angles you can mount this to with few pieces outside of the camera and the plate that you just stick onto wherever you're going to go, so, or mount to. So that said, Kiwibit, good job. Thanks for watching to the end of this video. I will have a full review once I actually have time and usage and actually recorded footage on this guy, but that's coming down the road. Thank you for watching to the end of this one, though, on the full setup, and we'll catch you back here on GeekSmart for another future video installation. See you again soon.